Last week, we got this crazy deluge of gig inquiries. Like, it was in one day, we got 3, which is a lot because, we're typically playing 2 to 3 times a month. But one of them stuck out because it was for a really interesting event. I'm not going to divulge names because I don't know how far into it we want to go.
Let's just say.
But we were asked to play the after party of a Grammy-nominated artist after their show in Atlanta. And it was one of those deals where I sent out the APB. I was like, hey, do you guys want to play till 1 a.m. on a Tuesday night? And everybody was, before I even got a chance to respond, I was like, what if I said it was for this person? And everybody kind of perked up.
You sent Mike and me a screenshot of the text.
Yes.
Am I being punked?
Yeah. Yeah, because it didn't feel plausible.
Right.
But there's just been weird stuff in the air this year. Because there's another thing that's already set in motion that I haven't told anybody about other than inner circle folks that is equally kind of bonkers. So bass player couldn't do it. Our number 1 sub was available because of course he was, because it's a random Tuesday night. And unless you're traveling or, have that kind of job, you probably have something to do. Pay's not fantastic, but this is one of those things you're just doing it for the story.
Yep.
And, my hope is once we get on the other side of it, I can divulge more information about what is going on.
And it's this week, right?
It's literally tomorrow.
Yeah.
So by the time this episode comes out, will have already happened. We'll do some form of post-mortem next week.
Right.
And I'm sure the Patreon group will get something literally next day.
For sure.
After I recover from playing until at least 1 o'clock and then having my alarm go off at 5:30.
Right.
Yay, parenthood. In the midst of this, besides just having to prep for things a little faster than we were anticipating, we were supposed to have a gig in 2 weeks, and it's a similar situation where we're doing live band. Well, no, actually, that next one is not live band karaoke, but we've got a bunch of them coming up. So some of the system stuff that we were working on needed to be buttoned up. I'm not sure if the Cat 6 situation will be done by then. And I don't know if I necessarily want to risk it on a gig with stakes like this.
Right.
So I'll probably hold off on that. But had to order some hardware and stuff. So we're using Request Now for our song list and all of that. And the way that everything is linked is through QR codes. And I'm not sure what kind of signage they have in the room, so I got some of these 4x6 plastic kind of stand deals.
Yep.
And then printed out some, just basic information, artwork, whatever, to slide into those, and we'll disperse those around the venue. And yeah, getting my guitars and, just wrapping up all of the logistical things about this kind of thing. But outside of that, it was an interesting thought experiment about, okay, what do you do in order to leave a good impression on your clientele when famous people are involved?
Yeah.
Because there were some conversations that were had in our group chat with the band. It was like, hey, do you think it's worth reaching out to a photographer? I was like, no, I don't. Nothing would make me more stoked than to have dope pictures of us playing to a packed house filled with celebrities or whatever, but it's also a surefire guaranteed way to never get that chance again.
Right.
So wanted to think about the things that you need to keep in mind if you are presented with this opportunity. Some of us may never run into it, but it's important to do that. Now, we didn't really know how to approach it.
But you did what we do in 2025.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, I'll just go on ChatGPT and ask him or them and see what they say.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I said, hey, I've got a gig tomorrow night that is featuring a Grammy person. What are the do's and don'ts of doing a gig like this to make sure that you don't screw it up? And I'll be dipped. ChatGPT came back with 10 things that pretty much nailed it.
Yep.
And so that's what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the 10 things to keep in mind when you get the opportunity to play for an event with potential celebrity guests. So I'm going to finish my Pinot Grigio, and then we're going to get into it.
Yum. I was joining you on some Malbec here.
Okay. Number 1, keep it professional.
Yeah.
When you go into these kind of scenarios, you just need to be normal and cool.
Yeah.
And not be unnormal and uncool.
Right. I do think there is a way to be appreciative of who you're meeting and the occasion of that.
Sure.
That doesn't turn you into some small fawning thing.
Right.
Like, oh, wow, so great to have this opportunity. What an amazing thing to meet you. Thank you so much for having us here.
Sure.
Here's what we're going to go do.
Yeah.
Right? That's all cool.
Yeah.
I think people appreciate that.
Yeah. So be excited, but don't freak out. Don't be one of those people. Don't super fan or stand somebody to their face.
Right.
It's not great.
Right.
You want to treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what they're looking for.
And when people who are famous like that are met by someone who's like, wow, what an honor. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's different from the kind of crazy superfan stuff that they cringe from. So
yeah. Well, and there's just there's a social contract that I feel like has been eroded. And I see videos all the time where famous people are like, people just don't act right.
Right.
So by just being a professional, if you get the opportunity to run into that person, shake their hand, say, nice to meet you, thanks for having us, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you're there to do a job.
Right.
And that's what you need to be focusing on.
Right. And bear in mind, this person is in the music industry and has had the job you've had and understands what you're there to do and is going to see you through the lens of having come up through that. Right. So don't be a way that if you saw somebody else doing that, you would cringe.
Yeah. So just do your best to keep it on the level, and you can fan out a little bit, but just enough.
Yeah.
And you won't know it until you go too far, but you will know when it happens.
Yeah, but just
try to avoid that.
Be cool. Just be cool.
Kind of in tandem with that, the next thing to consider is confidentiality.
Mm-hmm.
So part of the thing when somebody at the band was asking about media, I was like, hey, this thing get brought up, but I would not be surprised if there's an NDA involved. And their enforceability is kind of nebulous at this point, but there is a certain understanding that people who get these kinds of opportunities get them because they are not going to air dirty laundry. Hence the reason why I'm talking about this vaguely and not name dropping, because I don't want to run the risk of, stepping on people's toes and potentially blowing another opportunity.
Right. Or getting sued. I mean, it could go as far as, if somebody saw something happen that they then went public about and it wasn't what they thought it was. Truth is an absolute defense against libel and defamation. But if they misunderstood something or whatever, it could become a legal liability. So just shut your yap.
Well, and it's also the kind of thing where it's like, I'm not going to bring my metas on a gig like this.
Right.
I don't plan on taking photos or videos unless explicitly told it's okay.
Yep.
If we get an opportunity to get a picture with this artist, then, by all means, we're going to go for it.
For sure.
But it's pretty safe to assume that no photos, no videos, no gossiping. That's just, it's unspoken. So, even after this whole thing is said and done, my ability to give the full rundown publicly is might be limited.
Right.
And it may not be. It may be a big nothing burger, or the people that we talked with were cool, and nothing super scandalous happened, and you could just share the night how it goes.
Yeah.
But just assume that mum's the word.
Yeah. Yep.
And stick to that.
exactly.
Third one, I'm going to kind of like glaze over because it's like set list and energy match. Like this is gig 101.
Table
You're playing a
stakes.
private event. Like
100%.
don't play the wrong stuff.
Right.
Now, that being said, when we were initially approached, the contact who reached out to me was there with this person's management. I was like, hey, did you send them like a song list to make sure that like we're playing the right stuff? And his words were pretty straightforward. It's like, no, we're not going to worry about that. This was a last minute thing and you are available. So you guys play what you play.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to do our best to match the vibe of the room.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where we were literally told, just do what you do.
Here's the other thing. You may be tempted to cover one of the artist's songs.
Yeah. And there's definitely a precedent of this person kind of like walking up to do those kinds of things. Did we chart out like this person's big single?
Of course you did.
Do we get to pull it? Because again, this is a 90-minute thing. This is not like it's kind of a fleeting situation. And that's if everything goes according to plan, and these things rarely do. Our goal is to play for 90 minutes. And when it's live band karaoke, that may be 20 songs, maybe.
Yeah.
So, we're there to foster a good time and be cool.
Plus, they just came down off stage.
Right. So, like, I feel like we're basically there to be the entertainment for this artist and their friends.
Yeah.
Now, and it's supposed to be slam, so like I think that's not what I'm worried about. But ultimately, we're going to do the job that we came to do with a couple of like tricks in our back pocket just in case.
Yeah.
Because like I went so far as to like work up a cover that they did on a thing like before things kind of like blew up for them, and like I don't know. I'm 100% overthinking the situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be willing to. Well, actually, that's a little lower down on the list, so we'll just
leave it in that. Yeah.
Wardrobe and image, not really worried about that either. This is a private event, but it's at a kind of a divey place, so we're gonna wear what we normally wear. But,
ChatGPT's advice here: think well-styled and on-brand rather than "this is my audition for America's Next Rock God."
Right.
The fact of who your audience is shouldn't really don't be swayed by that in terms of what you are going to deliver.
Well, just don't be extra.
Yeah.
And I think this is different depending on where you are in whatever stage of your career, because I could see a situation like this coming up when I was 10, 15 years younger, and these things would not have been second nature to me, and the potential for me to be weird or mess the situation up was much higher when my aspirations were different.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at a gig like that as an opportunity to like get to the next level, you're probably not going to get that result, and B, you could completely burn every bridge out there by trying to.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't.
Yeah. The thing about getting discovered is that it's not a phenomenon you have much control over.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to, like, this is my opportunity to get discovered, let me just buff up everything I'm doing and be as shiny as possible. That is the opposite of what somebody who might discover you, quote unquote, would be looking for.
Well, and I think, honestly, because I don't have any expectations, like, I think the idea of like a band playing hard but like not super, polished would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
For them, because like that's what they're like, they've got this particular thing that they're always kind of like locked in on. So even things being like kind of fast and loose would actually like could be a plus in a scenario like that.
I would say.
Not that we're aiming for it, but I'm just saying something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Kind of unrelated to that, keep stage banter to a minimum. Don't point people out. Don't tell like stupid jokes trying to like, I don't know, get a rise out of people. Like, again, even if you're not looking for a leg up, like the thing that I'm thinking about is if this is a room full of important people that live in my city, those are gig client potential customer people.
Yeah.
So I just want to do a good job and not alienate or scare people away.
And you may be impressed that they're in the room, but they're not impressed that they're in the room. They're in every room that they're in.
That's right.
So calling them out says more about you than it does about them.
Right. And it doesn't mean like if you see somebody, like you can, I don't know. It's tricky because if one of those people decide they want to come up and do a song because it's karaoke, then yeah, you can say something about it. But like, don't slag their creative output or make a joke about something that
politics or
yeah. Just
don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
If you're thinking, hey, wouldn't it be? No.
Nope.
It wouldn't be.
Just don't.
The best thing that you could do is to be forgettable.
That's
honestly.
right. That's right. You are a cipher.
Yeah. Next one up, number 7. They're saying, oh, I'm sorry, number 6. My bad.
Yeah.
Is be flexible and low maintenance, which is exactly what we were saying. Be forgettable.
And listen, this is again table stakes for a corporate gig.
Yeah. The thing that always cracks us up is that when we get booked to do some sort of private event and it's like a charity gala or whatever, the 2 words that make everybody in this industry understand that like your itinerary and your run of show is just in the wind is live auction. Every single time that we have been a part of something that included a live auction, our run of show never happened. It always takes longer than they think it will. And we always end up starting late, but typically we still have to end at the contracted time because of, other reasons. So we end up playing less. And I don't know, this is supposed to be from 11:30 to 1 a.m. I don't want to necessarily be flexible about how late we can play because I've got to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
But, if we're supposed to start at 11:30 and the place is literally empty, like we're not going to do that.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure that the people who work there don't want to be out any later than we want to.
No, they feel the same as us. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, just be flexible. Don't be particular. Don't pitch fits. Don't be difficult.
Don't be a problem. Be the solution to problems. Don't be the
That's
problem.
right. Yes, you are a tool in this scenario.
Yep.
And you don't want to be... You want to be a tool, not a tool.
Not
you know
a
what
tool,
I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And man, it's such a fine line. Actually, there's not. It's pretty well defined.
It's the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go to 7.
Okay.
I was so excited about
Here
this.
we are. Let's do it.
Whew. Respect security and boundaries. Keep your distance. Don't be a creep. Don't go places where you were not supposed to go.
Yeah.
So if there's an area that's roped off, don't worry about it. It's not for you.
Don't chase down that celebrity you always wanted to meet.
Nope. I have said in previous situations like, oh, we're the entertainment, not the help. In a scenario like this, we're closer to the help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not in a way that like you need to like debase yourself or not
or
get
demeans
the things
us. Yeah.
Yeah. But just that like there's a social hierarchy in this room and you need to respect it. Because if you don't, there's other problems.
Yep.
Stay in your lane, be where you're supposed to be, and don't be where you're not supposed to be.
Yep.
Because if you push it and security's tight, you might get thrown out or hit or knocked over. Or,
Could be.
I don't really care for any of that.
No. Especially if you got a set 2 coming up.
Yep. Moving along. Keep things tight.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about keeping banter minimal. This also includes like setup time. So like I said, like tomorrow night's not the night to test out our Cat 6 system.
For sure.
Use what works and be as efficient as possible. Now, my motivation to do that is that I want to make sure that, all of the gear stuff is taken care of. I reached out to their tech person, have not heard back. So I'm going to have to make some assumptions and probably some contingencies that may or may not be necessary. But I just want to make sure that everything works.
Right.
So I want as much time as possible in the room before downbeat to make sure that there aren't any hiccups or curveballs, in the moment. I don't want people waiting on us. We want to be like set up and like rearing to go before anybody, walks through the door. No new gear, no testing stuff out, no prototyping, like just what works, and that's it. In our situation, we're not going to worry about bringing our Ableton rig. It's going to be like our bare bones playback tracks, bare bones monitoring, like just the
Simplest
stuff that
possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the goal. All right. So the next thing, let's say you get a chance to talk to the guest of honor or somebody in that echelon that you've got, you now have access to. How do you handle it?
Mm-hmm.
So is this a networking opportunity? What do you think?
It is. Obviously it is, but it's delicate.
Yeah.
Networking kind of depends on everyone being there on an even footing. And you're not. You're hired.
Sure.
So I think there's a little bit of grace that you've got to sort of introduce yourself and try and be remembered, but not much. And you got to be careful not to push past that boundary.
Well, I think there are certain parameters that you are cool to operate in, because in this scenario, this person is a recording artist.
Yeah.
So
they kind of know the deal. They've played some bars.
Right. And so if they approach you and they're asking about you,
That's
like you
totally
can talk
different.
about you.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
And if they introduce like, hey, this is so-and-so, you can kind of like continue down that path. But like, it's not the time to share your concept album, notes and the way that you're trying to redefine the genre or whatever. You say, yeah, no, I do this and I work here and I do this when I'm not doing that. And I have this thing. If I get a chance to say, yeah, I do this and I make content about playing in bands like this, that's probably it. I'm not going to go out of my way to share anything else.
That's probably it. And that assumes the opportunity's been given to you by it coming to you.
Yeah.
Right? You seeking out those people in the room to try and, have them appreciate you isn't going to go well.
Yeah. So, yeah, and nobody likes a hard sell.
Nobody likes a hard sell.
Especially one they didn't ask for.
And it's a party.
Yeah. When we interviewed Finn McKenty back in the day, we had this conversation about punishers.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be a punisher where somebody ends up feeling like you've cornered them at the bar and you're just like info dumping or doing something that is just harshing the mel of the room. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
If you're going to network, do it subtly. Be gracious and brief. If they ask about you, go for it. But don't try and insert yourself into conversations that you're not in and just being a weirdo in general.
Also, they might ask about you to be polite.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an opportunity to very delicately read the room.
Yeah. You don't necessarily need to explain your entire journey to getting here.
Right.
You can keep things vague. Think about it at literally like a cocktail party. If someone asks what you do, you try and wrap it up in a sentence or two,
mm-hmm.
and don't try and get into the weeds about stuff. You be as forgettable as possible, but if there are things that look to be perceived opportunities where you can share information or you can be of service, you could be a tool in a particular scenario because of a skill set or something that you've got, I don't think that's a hard sell.
No.
Because if someone's like, oh, I have this problem, you'd be like, oh, I can solve that problem.
Exactly. No, being the solution to a problem is a whole different thing from being a hard sell.
Right. So don't be the problem. Be the solution if you can be. And if you can't be the solution, maybe just keep your mouth shut. I don't know.
Be quiet. If you're not the solution to the problem they're saying, don't make anything up. Just that is a problem.
Yeah. Last one, exit gracefully.
Mm-hmm.
Don't linger. Just like everything else, you've got a job to do. So when things are wrapped up, just pack your stuff up, coil them cables. If somebody comes up and says, hey, good set or whatever, you can take a minute. But the last thing you want to be is the last group just hanging out, waiting.
I feel like this is the one where ChatGPT missed it. Because
Really?
yeah, the people who matter, who you care about connecting with, they're going to be long gone by the time you're coiling cables.
Yeah, but I guess it's who are you lingering around for?
Okay. Unpack that.
Depending on the scenario, I mean, it's going to make sense that the band would be the last group out of the venue, potentially.
I mean, there'll be
Doesn't
venue
have to
people.
be that way.
There'll still be venue people there. You know,
Sure,
somebody's got to
but-
lock the door behind you.
Right. But if you can just like GTFO, you should.
Oh, always. Always.
So if so-and-so is in the VIP section and you're trying to, again, not do what we told you to not do in the last one, just kind of like standing around the periph, like waiting.
So the theory then is you've finished at 1 a.m.
Yep.
But there's now a DJ who's going to go till 3.
Sure.
Like, don't linger because you were the band and you were cool once in the room and now you have cred and can sneak your way into the VIP area.
Right.
Yeah,
because it's
I get
still
that.
not your party.
It's not your party. No, yeah, don't do that. That's weird.
You don't magically become a guest when the set's over.
Right.
So unless explicitly asked or invited, like your job is to pack up, be polite,
Yep.
thank the people that, brought you in if they're still around, but otherwise just like get in, get out, but be nice about it.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't think any of this stuff was necessarily like groundbreaking, stuff we didn't know before.
A lot of it was, corporate gig or party gig 101. And then also don't be weird about celebrities.
Sure. And I mean, that's really what it is. It's just like it's social graces. It's like being able to read the room and be polite and don't draw unnecessary attention to yourself.
Right.
And that's it.
And that's it.
If you can do those things, you might get a chance to do it again.
Yeah. And you're going to get a chance to do it tomorrow night.
Yep. And I will tell you as much about it as I can tell you.
Oh, it's exciting.